We have a special surprise interview with Senator Ralph Bett, who is over at COP29. Senator, what's it like over there at COP?
What's it like over here at COP? Now, because I'm surrounded by globalists that I'm sure if they knew exactly who I was, wouldn't mind sticking the knife in and twisting it a little bit, I'll be very diplomatic about what I say. Yesterday, I listened to someone speak about the intersectionality between feminism, white supremacy, and climate change. That's how COP29 is going for me so far. But the reason that I'm here, though, is I'm here to have conversations about nuclear energy. And the reason why I'm here to have conversations about that is because unless the United Australia Party wins the next election and takes government, this transition to net zero, even I don't believe in it, is going to happen. And if it's going to happen, if we rely on just wind turbines and solar panels, which in my opinion aren't renewable, the only thing renewable is the costs, we are going to very quickly become a third world country.
So, Senator, can you explain your photograph with Matt Kean, because he's not everybody's favourite individual?
Look, I'm obviously someone who's not afraid of a bit of controversy. So yesterday I was walking through the crowd and I walked past the Australia stand because the Australia stand has had a pretty good coffee, I heard. And I thought I'd grab a coffee. And all of a sudden, I just hear Senator Bett. I turn around and it's Mr. Matt Kean. And we just started to have a chat. And I thought, look, I'm an Aussie all the way from Australia. I'm here in Azerbaijan, in Baku. I never expected to see many other Aussies here. And to see Mr. Kean, I thought, look, we'll have a chat. Now, Mr. Kean, of course, as many of your viewers might know, is the chair of the Climate Change Authority. So this man has quite some pull. So I thought I'd quickly have a chat to him about the benefits of nuclear energy for Australia. We talked about the energy transition. Now, like I said before, I don't agree with any of this transition stuff, but I thought we'd have a quick chat about it. And we thought, you know what, let's take a quick photo. I'm sure it'll send Twitter crazy, both on your channel and on my channel as well. We took a quick photo and what do you know, it's blown up. I've got hundreds of messages from people saying, hey, did you check your back pocket? Do you still have your watch? Do you still have your wallet? It's pretty funny, of course. But you know what? Matt Kean is an Aussie. I'm an Aussie. We met up, we had a chat. That's about all there was to it.
That's about all you have in common, is being Australian and being in politics. I love how they always call themselves the Climate Authority. It's never just a climate organisation. It's got to have these extra little totalitarian words attached. Now, look, I'm wearing Trump red still, and Trump has announced that he is going to pull out of Paris. He will not be posting any more of the carbon credits or whatever they're doing. He won't be funding any of this so-called transition. In fact, the transition might not happen if America's not on board. But when it comes to like Australia, do you think that Trump's presidency is going to change the global transition and how it's viewed?
Absolutely. Look, Ali, not just that. Trump's presidency is going to change the world. Planet Earth is going to change. The universe is going to change. This is a seismic shift. I mean, people all across the world now will be emboldened, will maybe all of a sudden grow some kahunas and say, if the Americans can be America first, if the Americans can have common sense, if Donald Trump can do this, why can't we as our individual nation state also do this? Why can't we push back against woke ideology? Why do we need to go down this path of destroying our country when the Americans aren't? Why can't we adopt an Australia first or a UK first or a, insert X country here first attitude? Why can't we do that? So the win of Donald Trump is signaling out there to every leader across the world, hey, it is popular to love your country. It is popular to have common sense. If I speak like this, if I do things like this, I have a good chance of not only becoming elected as the leader of my country, but doing the right thing for my nation. So this Trump win is absolutely huge. I hope it'll embolden the conservative centre-right all across the world, and I think it will.
Well, look, Trump is coming out with the drill, baby, drill. He's absolutely going to be changing the way energy is done over in America. And also, I noticed a lot of those grants for things like green hydrogen are drying up immediately. So that will have an impact on Australia. But you said you had chats about nuclear energy when you were over there. Is the Australia little table there feeling a bit isolated because the rest of the world is talking about nuclear and they're saying, oh, we can't possibly do it. No one does nuclear, it's evil. Did you get any indication that perhaps Australia is getting the hint, or are they still like fingers in ears, not paying attention?
Look, I really think that the Australian approach is going to have to lean towards nuclear sooner or later. Whether they ideologically believe in it or not is not going to be a factor soon, because we're going to have a country where our living standards are going to go down so far, where the public outcry is going to be so intense that all of these crazy lefties that are so ideologically opposed to nuclear will have absolutely no choice but to look at it. It's either going to be nuclear energy or it's going to be literal poverty. There is no in between. It's nuclear or it's poverty. Or the third option, United Australia Party wins the next government, we drop all of that stuff, we drill, baby, drill, and it's coal and gas all the way. That's the third option. But as we know, the wheels of change turn very slowly, and what's more likely to happen, in my belief, anyway, I'm going on a quick tangent here, or as Trump likes to call it, I do the weave. I like to do the weave. If at the next election, Peter Dunn forms government, the Liberal Party, the Liberal coalition forms government, there is every chance that we adopt nuclear much quicker than what we would have otherwise. Now, the left in Australia, the Labor Party, they like to say nuclear is too expensive, it's going to take 20 years, blah, blah, blah. I've been talking to some nuclear experts here at COP29, at the United Nations, and they have told me, look, if your state governments, if your federal governments are on board, ignoring all the legislative burdens that you have to go through, but the actual build time for these things is anywhere from around 5 to 10 years is what it'll take to build a brand new station, as long as you can get all the legislative stuff sorted first. So when the Labor Party comes out and say, it'll take 20 years before we start generating power, that's a bit of a falsehood. It'll take 20 years if all you do is block the progress and block the development, then maybe. But if everyone's on board and it's something that the nation decides that it wants to do, 5, 7, potentially up to 10 at the absolute most. But what we have the benefit of in Australia, and I apologise, I'll be quick, is we already have existing coal power stations right now with all the wires and all the poles going into them. The water is there already. So it's already half done. All we need to do is basically unplug the coal-fired power stations and plug in the nuclear power station on the same site. That's all we need to do. It's extremely simple. We just need to have the political will to do it, and we better find that political will real darn quick, or you're going to be getting around in a horse and carriage.
The actual dark ages are approaching us. Look, just before I move on to my final comments, one last question, just because I'm curious, and COP is somewhat of a mythical conference that people always wonder about. What is the craziest thing you've seen? Like, do they have your carbon credits printed on your pass? Have they made you eat bugs? What's going on?
I can tell you what, there's definitely no bugs here. There are plenty of private jets, though, at the airport. So when I flew in the other day and the plane was coming in for landing, I could see off to my right, out of the window, all of the private jets parked alongside the runway there. So, that tells you really everything that you need to know about COP, right? It's a lot of globalists talking from on high, from their ivory towers, preaching down to us little people down below, us serfs, us peasants. What do we know? The globalists know best. Look, I'm just having a go here, of course, as I always do. But COP is this year anyway, COP's been very important, at least to me, just because of the importance of us pushing the nuclear energy message. People are not really understanding how close to the end Australia is here. If we don't pick up the nuclear energy flag, we are, and I wasn't joking before, we're literally going to go back to a day where we're riding horses around because we won't have cheap power. Now, let me tell you something about COP that happened yesterday. So the Chinese came out at COP yesterday and they said that more developed nations had to pay around $1.8 trillion in basically climate reparations. Let's just call it that. And they said that they're not going to pay anything because as far as they're concerned, they are not a developed country. So what China is doing, this is just my opinion, they are weaponizing all the climate stuff that's going on right now in order to benefit their country. So they disadvantage other countries. They get you to shut down your productive capacity while they use coal, while they use gas, while they open up new power stations every single week. They shut us down and they benefit, which is what's happening right now. So, COP is a bit of a crazy place. Obviously, I don't agree with much of what's going on here, but, the Australian people, the Victorians that sent me here, they expect me to be here. They expect me to push an Australia first attitude. They expect me to push some common sense, and that's what I'm doing, Ellie.
Well, of course you should be there, Senator. My opinion, however, is that Australia should walk away from the whole climate scandal, just as Trump has done and said, you guys, you have fun. You do whatever it is you want to do. I'm not going to be a part of it. We're taking the American checkbook and the Australian checkbook and we're walking. Also, on notice, Pacific Islands, no more cash for you. But before we go, I've got to ask you, you've been trolling the internet, Senator Babette, while you've been away. Have you been having a bit of fun online?
Well, look, I've had a long time to wait at all different airports. I've had a lot of long flights. So I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do my best to annoy the lefties. Let me just annoy lefties all day, every day. And they always take the bait all the time. You know what? One thing I've learned about lefties is they always act so high and mighty. We're more virtuous than you. We're so much better than you. And then when it comes down to it, they're just the worst of people. Obviously, I have no love for them at all. But you know what? If you're not doing anything right now, grab your phone out, follow me on X, type in Senator Babette, and get amongst it. Leave some comments, leave a like, and retweet my stuff.
Well, Senator, don't forget to take notes while you're there. Record some of the really juicy bits for us because I'm expecting an article out of you because we all want to read what it's like at COP29 from an insider's perspective. So please have fun, take notes, and we will see you when you get back.
Thank you, Ali, and Ali for president. See you guys later.
Thank you.